From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Woodard. Our top story tonight, rainy conditions and icy roads over the weekend led to the closure of the Fairbanks North Star School District and classes at the university today. The National Weather Service recorded approximately 1/4 inch of rain in the interior spanning last weekend to Monday morning. The rain turned into ice, making streets impassable for drivers. By 5:30 this morning, the school district made the decision to close down its schools to keep students and faculty safe. The University of Alaska Fairbanks also closed down school activities for its students, but left other operations open. Meteorologist John Lingus says the precipitation that caused the ice rain is still in the interior, though it's undetermined if it will rain or snow. He recommends people to be aware of future weather forecasts.
Prepare for what that may bring, whether it's a bout of snow, possibly another bout of freezing rain, though hopefully not to the quantity that we just experienced. And anyway, just some warmer temperatures that will be quite a bit above seasonal values.
Well, at this point, there are no plans to cancel school, but just like yesterday, we're monitoring road conditions and forecasts, and we're still in contact with DOT and law enforcement. And again, should there be a change to normal school operations, we'll let parents know through those normal channels starting at 5:30 a.m. by a phone call, an email, and announcements in the local media.
Department of Army officials tonight meet with the Anchorage community on potential troop downsizing at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson. A similar listening session will be held tomorrow evening beginning at 5:30 inside the Carlson Center right here in Fairbanks. Fort Wainwright could see the loss of 5,800 soldiers as the Army looks towards force reduction to meet end-of-war strength goals. Alaska Governor Bill Walker is scheduled to speak Tuesday night, as will Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins. The public will also have the chance to give testimony, and Hopkins is calling for a packed house tomorrow night.
We have probably about around 500 seats ready to be filled. I hope those are filled, the back of the room is filled, and it even goes out the door and people are going, gosh darn it, I wish I came earlier. Because that's the message that our community has shown in the past, and I think we can do it again.
That hearing in Fairbanks will give the people the chance to talk about what Fort Wainwright means to the community. Monty Bowen talked with Army and Economic Development officials about it.
The U.S. Army is cutting as many as 150,000 active duty personnel by 2019.
A team of Army officers will be traveling from Washington, D.C. to Alaska to hear what the community has to say about the possibility of losing as many as 5,800 soldiers in Fairbanks. We also have to take into effect that there's between 10,000 and 12,000 family members as well.
Jim Dodson at the Fairbanks Economic Development Corporation said there are way too many things going on in the world right now to move the military from the Fairbanks area.
Russia opening up 5 old bases on the coast of Russia, one within 200 miles of Alaska. We have talk about opening the Arctic Passageway for transit of commercial ships in the northern Arctic. And of course, there's huge interest in Arctic exploration these days.
Nadine Winters of the North Pole Economic Development Corporation said shutting down the Fort Wainwright Stryker Brigade would have huge ripple effects on the local economy.
It would be on utilities, it would be on the housing market, it would be, people say, oh, I wouldn't mind it if Fairbanks got a little smaller, and they're saying that in a restaurant, and I'm saying, well, it might not be here because there's less people to support it. So huge impact borough-wide if those cuts are implemented.
When we come back tomorrow, marijuana will become legal thanks to the voters in November. We'll see how the police will deal with it. Also, an astronaut will be in town visiting with kids and the public, recounting his own memories of months in space. These stories and more when we return. Welcome back. Tomorrow, the recreational use of marijuana in Alaska becomes legal, and law enforcement across the state is prepping for the change. Ballot Measure 2 passed in the November election, and it will now be legal despite the many gray areas surrounding where and how much. The measure allows up to 6 marijuana plants in a private residence or the cultivated product of 3 plants at a time. Fairbanks police say people can also possess up to an ounce legally. Violators could face a $100 fine, which equates to a fine of a traffic ticket. Now, police say they are planning to go about business as usual tomorrow because of the many regulations that have not been clearly defined.
Yeah, we're not taking any extraordinary measures because we really anticipate the impact being pretty minimal. So we have the provisions under 17.38, which is what codified ballot measure 2. And there is a section in there that governs public use and possession. And so that's our first tool. And beyond that, we'll wait for additional regulations and legislation to come out in addition to a city ordinance, hopefully tonight. And we'll just continue to educate our employees as quick as we can as things change.
Tonight, the City Council will be holding a meeting in which they will vote on actually defining a public place and whether or not to ban public use altogether. We will have more on the outcome of that vote tomorrow. As part of a deal with the state, a Fairbanks man pleaded guilty to lesser charges this morning in Fairbanks Superior Court. 27-year-old Adam Bloom pleaded guilty to felony escape, unlawful evasion, and theft. Now, those charges reduced from over 6 cases against Bloom. Bloom was a fugitive from the law after he escaped custody during a transport to the North Star Center. He was originally in custody for the theft of a $40,000 fiber optics trailer. As part of the deal, Bloom could still face up to 20 years in jail and up to $10,000 paid in restitution. A hearing in which a judge will determine his sentence will be held in March. Once again, a grand jury has indicted a Fairbanks man already facing serious felony charges. Levi Ratinsky, who faces 29 charges, was indicted on an additional 10. Ratinsky's original felony stemmed from Machina Hot Springs Road burglary. In that case, he faces a single count of attempted murder. According to the new indictment, Ratinsky will have nearly 40 criminal charges, including first-degree burglary and theft. Those stem from September of 2014. Ratinsky was released on bail for a short period of time to a third-party custodian. However, this is the third in a series of new indictments handed down over the past months. Ratinsky remains in jail on a no-bail status. The public and children are getting an opportunity this week to find out what it's like to be orbiting in space. Thanks to the Space Foundation, a global space advocacy and education organization based in Colorado is bringing its New Horizons community education program to the Fairbanks area this week. Included in the program is former astronaut Dr. Leroy Chow. Dr. Chow has been involved with 4 shuttle and space station missions, including the Discovery, Endeavour, and Columbia, and a Russian where he lived for more than 6 months and a half months. The astronaut will be speaking to numerous schools and service organizations about a career that brought him many breathtaking experiences. Dr. Chow's visit to Fairbanks was organized by Marcy War, a 3rd grade teacher at ICS, and she says the kids will benefit greatly.
Oh, I just want to have kids get more excited about space science, and math. We need to have kids be more interested in, do better in math and science.
We're here kind of pushing STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and really kind of, although we're from the Space Foundation and a lot of us have a passion for space, really we're just trying to get the creative juices flowing, get the kids thinking about what they really, get excited about, and kind of through our passion for space, maybe try to ignite whether it's space or something else in them, just get them start thinking about what they'd like to do with their lives.
All right, Joe Cook is coming next with the weekend recap of your local sports. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here this Monday evening with your weekend recap. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs lost 5-2 on Friday night to the Keystone Ice Miners, but Saturday, Fairbanks, they returned the favor. After a scoreless first period, Hans Gorowski scored a one-timer, put the Dogs in front early in the second period with the 1-0 lead. Keystone's Matt Jones would answer to make things interesting. Fairbanks, they would come back to the one-timer. Yannick Fidel, he scores to make it a 2-1 game. Still in the second period, Gorowski would score a clutch goal at the second period buzzer. Fairbanks, they led 3-1 going to the third. The Ice Dogs tacked on 2 more in the third period. They win game 2, 5-2 for the series split. Kevin Aldridge, he made 30 saves in the win as Fairbanks improves to 33-14-3 overall and second in the Midwest.
it's a game of seconds in hockey. I mean, when the puck's coming to you, you got to get it off your stick quick. And if you're not getting it off quick, then the goalie can get over and stop it. So, I mean, those one-timers are the reason we won the game. We were moving quick, got quick shots to the net, and we scored. So I think they outworked us last night, and that doesn't happen here in our building. That's not ice dog hockey. So I think we just manned up a little bit and outworked them.
The Alaska Rifle team will have all the momentum and motivation it needs going to the national finals. Saturday, Alaska shot a new all-time record of 4,712 points in their NCAA qualifier. They also shot a new program record of 2,346 points in small bore. Visiting Rose-Hulman, a Division III team, shot a season high in their last match ever as a program. Tim Cherry and Soren Butler shot 589 and 587 in small bore. Both shot perfect 100s in 2 prone stances. Ryan Anderson, he led the Nooks with a 598 in the air rifle, just 2 shots off of a perfect 600 score. Mats Eriksson followed with a 592. The number 2 Nanoks are 1 point behind number 1 West Virginia after qualifiers. The NCAA championships start March 13th at the Patty Center. After the 3 days of swimming, the Alaska Nanook team finished in the top 10 at their conference championships in swimming. UAF was 6th overall at the Pacific Collegiate Swim and Diving Championships in La Mirada, California. UC San Diego and Loyola Marymount finished 1st and 2nd. Senior Margot Adams earned silver in the 200 freestyle on Saturday and clinched 5th overall in the individual standings, leading 3 other Nanooks in the top 30. The 400 free relay team of Adams, senior Gabby Summers, and fellow senior Danielle Lyons and freshman Martha Hood won bronze. Summers was 4th in the 200 backstroke as well. Adams is an automatic qualifier for the 100 butterfly for nationals, and Lyons had 2 qualifying 400 freestyle times. Alaska will wait to see who will join Adams at the NCAA championships in Indianapolis on March 11th. Despite a wet and soggy environment at Kincaid Park, an interior team earned bronze at the ASAA Nordic Skiing State Championships over the weekend. The West Valley boys, they placed 3rd behind runner-up South and state champion Service. Lathrop, they placed 13th overall. The boys team of West Valley also finished 3rd in the 4x5 relays on Saturday. In the girls division, West Anchorage took the crown, ending South's 2-year reign. It's the first girls state title since 1988 for West Anchorage. The West Valley girls, they finished inside the top 10, 9th overall. They finished 8th in the 4x3 relays to close out their season. Now here's the leaderboard for the 2015 Iron Dog race. The race started on Sunday from Big Lake after the first ever ceremonial start from Anchorage on Saturday. Aaron Bartell and Scott Davis were the first into McGrath on Sunday night, but they are now in 3rd place. Alan Hill and Mark McKenna are the leaders out of Ophir. Eric Quam and Scott Bayo are 3rd. Tyler Huntington of Galena and former champ Todd Palin, they are in 8th place. Chris Carroll of Fairbanks and Ray Shafsaz are 18th. Fairbanks team of Ryan Folsom and Tony Green are right behind at 19th overall. Now we wrap up the Monday Sportscast with this week's I-5 Interior Top 5 Plays. At number 5, check out the kind, friendly role Jalen McCullough gets on this layup. That was 2 of his game-high 19 points as Monroe wins 74-50 over Hutch on Tuesday. At number 4, West Valley's Daniel Hornbuckle finds senior Trent Chu on a no-look pass for the go-ahead layup in the 4th quarter. West Valley gets their first win over Lathrop 46-42 on Tuesday. Number 3, clutch play. Hans Gorowski scores his 2nd goal of the game at the 2nd period horn in Saturday's 5-2 win over the Keystone Ice Miners on Saturday night. Number 2, the Alaska Rifle team makes history shooting a new program record of 4,712 points and a new small bore record of 2,346 on Saturday in their NCAA qualifier. At number 1, Brent Sass of Eureka, Alaska wins his first Yukon Quest title, crossing the finish line on Monday night in Fairbanks, running wild and free. Sass finished the quest in 9 days, 12 hours, and 49 minutes. To vote for the Play of the Week, click on your play on the I-5 poll on Webster11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube posts, and send a tweet to KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The Play of the Week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back in to a Monday night weather. Normally I would have been out at the ice park dressed appropriately like this, but because of the conditions we've had, we decided just to go ahead and do it from the studio because they've closed the ice park today, but tomorrow they're opening it for everybody and they'll be starting their single block sculptures too. So we'll see you out there tomorrow. Now, as far as our photograph for tonight, this one's a nice one. This is by Sabine Richardson, and she captured that Love Alaska sign you've seen many times going out to the airport, and a moose happened to be walking underneath it. So a great shot there. As always, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Your numbers look like this: 30 degrees. That's our high for the day. The current temperature 30, low last night 28. Record high in 1945, 48 degrees that day, 50 below the record low. And that was set in 1932. Your sunrise and sunset, over 9.5 hours of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Our satellite and radar showing a flow coming out of the southwest, and that's usually conducive to bringing in moisture and giving us a chance of a little light snow. And that's exactly what we're having right now. We're expecting that to continue all night long, but no real accumulation expected. All the energy that brought the freezing rain and all the mess over the weekend is moving off to the east. In fact, we'll zoom in a little closer on the radar. As you can see here, most indications are that the heaviest activity has moved off to the east. Just a few lingering snow showers, and that's going to continue through the night. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, for the most part, we have a little nice sunshine across southeast Alaska. Finally, 45 degrees at Ketchikan, and around the Anchorage Bowl, the rains have stopped there. 43 degrees at Anchorage. Still some rain around the Kodiak region, 44 degrees, 41 at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, looking at partly cloudy skies. Cloudy skies on the north slope at Barrow, 2 degrees below zero, and Fort Yukon, cloudy skies and 27. Lower 48 weather, a little more activity going on, especially over the eastern half, as it has been all winter, it seems like. Nice weather over the western half of the country, but chilly at Denver, 17 degrees there. They've been getting quite a bit of snowfall. Snow has moved in around the Minneapolis area, 19 degrees there. Only 27 degrees in Dallas, Fort Worth. That's unbearably cold for this time of year for those folks. Elsewhere, rain is falling around the New Orleans area. Cold temperatures again around New York, 25 degrees. The satellite radar showing that big burst of cold air once again coming in from across the Canadian border and reinforcing all the cold air that's trapped across much of the southern half of the country, bringing snow to the Denver area, also snow to parts of Texas, and rain up and down the eastern seaboard. Things are clear over the west coast. And as far as tonight, well, we have a little bit of mixed rain and snow going across much of the deep south, a little snow around Little Rock, and some snow in Charleston. And the overall jet stream has really widened out considerably, helping to bring some of that cold air even down over across the Pacific Northwest, and then sweeping it across much of the deep south, and then back up to the east again. So a large area is under cool temperatures. All right, back to Alaska for tomorrow. For the northern section, some blowing snow for Barrow, scattered snow showers for Nome, and periods of snow for the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at, for the most part, morning snow showers. They should be giving way to cloudy skies at Fairbanks, Healy, and Delta Junction. And over the southeast, well, looks like not too bad. Scattered clouds will be the rule from Juneau all the way down to Ketchikan. And over the southwest part of the state, we're looking at morning snow showers for Cold Bay, scattered snow showers in the Kodiak region, and snow becomes scattered also in the Bethel area. And down around the Anchorage Bowl, for the most part, partly cloudy skies for Anchorage and Valdez. Homer will have cloudy skies also. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. We would normally have the kids here tonight, but they're getting off the day because of the weather conditions. So we're going to give you one more weather fact. And in 1989, 19 cities reported new record low temperatures, including 19 below at Lincoln, Nebraska. And as always, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. And tomorrow night, we'll have the young kids here from Weller Elementary visiting us for the rest of the week. So here's your forecast for the evening. 21 degrees, the overnight low. Periods of light snow developing. They already have in most of the areas. And we're looking at maybe an inch of snow accumulation. That's about it. Tomorrow's forecast, morning snow showers should give way to cloudy skies, 30 degrees for the daytime high. And the extended forecast, a little cool to begin with, but then warming back up again by toward the end of the week for the weekend. 32 degrees. We're not too bad off. And again, temperatures in the overnight lows will also be chilly to begin with and really basically stay the same temperature all the way across the board. And that will be looking like around 5 degrees each night. So I am ready for tomorrow, though.
Yeah, that weather is pretty crazy today. And just starting Saturday night, it went downhill bad.
Yeah, really fast. You know, that rain came in and it's just started hitting that surface that was cold already, and everything froze.
And of course, you know, even though the snow is falling tonight, the temperatures are going to drop, so the ice may still be there. So be careful driving tomorrow morning.
Got to give a big tip of the hat to the DOT. They did a great job of getting out and getting all those intersections taken care of, and most of the roads around the main part of Fairbanks.
Absolutely. All right, but still, remember to drive safely.
By all means.
Okay, well, that'll wrap up our newscast. We're glad you could join us.
And be sure and join us tomorrow night. We'll have more interesting things for you, especially me. I'll be out at the ice park, so be sure and tune in tomorrow night. That'll be fun to be with you.
Of course, the ice park, if there's any ice left.
That's right.
All right, from all of us at the News Center, have a good night.
Good night.